I'm here today to show that teachers stand in solidarity for what's important for all members of our society, which is to have the rights to collectively bargain and to be able to stick up for what you think is right in society.
What brought you out here tonight?
Well, to be honest, I'm here not necessarily as a teacher, but I'm also a parent, I'm a citizen, and what brought me here tonight is the way the board has handled the progress reports, the fact that they're disciplining good teachers for standing up really for democracy.
Now, are some teachers being penalized over the progress reports?
Teachers that did not complete the progress reports as per the TDSB standard are being penalized by having meetings with their principals. It's just interesting that in other boards like Peel, their board was supportive while ours was not. It's really unfortunate. All we know is that we're not being supported, and what we knew was that what's good for the ministry wasn't good enough for the TDSB.
This is the only board in the entire province that had a problem with report cards. Okay?
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Still want the teachers got to go!
The biggest problem with this bill for us is, number one, it changes the rules of the game in the middle, and it takes away our rights to collectively bargain, and it gives the government unprecedented control over how it can affect public education.
You're a trustee. What is your stance on this situation right now?
The government has really thrown a spanner into the works. We would love to be able to negotiate with our teachers, with our employees. They're our employees, not the government's employees. We would love to dearly negotiate with them for an agreement, which is an open negotiations where everything is on the table. Be fair to our teachers and to ourselves. But the spanner that the government has thrown into the works has thrown a lot of stuff off the table. So there's some things we cannot negotiate. And this is highly unfair. It's unfair to the school boards, it's unfair to the teachers.
We're here for two reasons. Apparently today, the Minister of Education said that it's all the union's fault because they're refusing to negotiate.
Shame!
And we're being punished because McGuinty wasn't bright enough to figure out that the people that he's got around the table, whether it's the lawyers who come from McCarthy Tetro or having Don Drummond from the TD Bank, come and give us advice on how education system should be run out of town, because you should give us no advice on what that is. Capitalists and those banks downtown have no interest in what we deliver in our schools every day.
The government has set a tone where we have no choice but to react, because teachers only deal with stuff involving students, and those are the only services we can withdraw. Teachers love doing tons of extracurriculars, but the problem is that the only pushback we have is to withdraw services, and unfortunately the group that needs to hear it, our government, is not listening.
And I think that that's what people need to recognize, is this is not about a wage freeze, this is about an attack on charter rights. and the fundamental rights of organized labor and the future of organized labor in our province. And I think that that's why I'm here, more as a citizen and as a parent than anything else in the future.
Now, as a parent, what do you think about the impact that this is having on kids?
It's a gut-wrenching decision that teachers had to make, but I think what we're looking at here is the long term. And the fact is that I'm standing up for my kids, my children at home. I'm standing up for them and their future and the future of organized labor. And I think that in the short term, there's some hardships that we need to go through, but I'm here because of the long term and the fact that we need to stand up for charter rights.
The government is complaining about poverty. We don't have the resources. We all have to cut back. But where are we cutting back? We're cutting back in the classrooms. And the government is spreading this falsehood that there are just no resources with cuts in taxation and corporate taxes. The corporations that the government is rewarding for causing this economic crisis in the first place are the biggest users of our graduates, of our educational system. And I think it's only fair that they should pay their share of the education of their future workers.
I feel this could all end very quickly if Bill 115 was repealed. See, teachers want to be in the classrooms. Teachers do not want job action. But at the same time, our government cannot have unprecedented control over what's going on and affect our classrooms and the effect of education of students the way it's going on right now.
I don't see this ending anytime soon.
I personally think it will end soon as the Education Minister Broughton repeals this legislation, and OSSTF and the Elementary Teachers of Ontario will go back to business as usual. But the problem is that our hands are tied with the lack of flexibility. We've tried to negotiate, and it's fallen upon deaf ears.
The resources are there. The government just needs the gumption to go ahead and do it.